Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Food Day Lounge. I'm your host, Cincy to Friends. On this evening's episode, I'm going to give you my 4 favorite offensive linemen and my 5 favorite running backs who I would like the Bengals to target outside of the first 2 rounds. But first, Marie!
What?
Babe, can you go get me some more Cubanisto? I don't have any more Cubanisto, please.
Pardon? Mais ça va pas ou quoi? Mais va le chercher ton cubanisto! Lui non? Il est fou, mais je crois pas. Merde.
I'm going to start at number 4 with the guard out of Kentucky, Logan Stenberg. He's 6'6", 317 pounds. Right now, I have him going in the 4th or 5th round. I'm not a fan of his athletic profile, but I really love his toughness and this nastiness, and I loved his tape. He held up very nicely against what is seen as the toughest conference in the nation, the SEC, and I would consider him in the 5th round, but not the 4th. However, if we wait till the 5th round to take him, he's probably not going to be there, which means I'm probably not going to get the chance to draft him. Right now, it looks like he'd be a steal in the 5th round because most projections have him going in the 4th. If the Bengals were to draft him, he's only a guard. There will be no putting him at left tackle or right tackle or anything like that. I only see him as playing guard with that limited athletic profile. However, if he does play guard, he could turn out to be a really good one. Number 3 on this list is tackle out of North Carolina, Charlie Heck. He's 6'8", 311 pounds, so he has very good size. He needs to get a little bit stronger, but he's strong enough. I love his tape. He holds up very well against excellent competition. He's the son of Andy Heck, a Notre Dame alum and former first-round pick of the Seattle Seahawks and current offensive line coach in Kansas City. Right now, I have him projected going in the 6th or 7th round. He played right tackle and left tackle, but he actually looked better as a left tackle than he did a right tackle, which is not normally the case. That might just be a result of him playing right tackle in his junior year and left tackle in his senior year, which means he just probably got stronger and more mature and more knowledgeable about the game. But if the Bengals were to draft him, or if any team were to draft him, I would definitely keep him at left tackle because in spite of what normally is the situation, he's a much better left tackle than he is a right tackle. If the Bengals were to draft him, I would hope that they would try to play him at guard, even though I'm not a big fan of playing tackles and as guards in the NFL, but there wouldn't be a spot for him at tackle, at least not right away. Maybe right tackle in a couple of years from now once Bobby Hart's contract is up, and if we chose not to re-sign him again, then maybe he could kick in as a right tackle. But like I said, he's a much better left tackle than he is right tackle. Coming in at number 2 on this list is Akeem Adenaji, tackle out of Kansas. I hope I'm saying that right. He's 6'4", 302 pounds. Right now, I have him going in the 4th or 5th round. But like Stenberg, if we wait to draft him in the 5th round, he's probably not going to be there. And it just seems like he keeps moving up in the up draft boards. So definitely a 4th round draft pick at this point. I would like to get him a little bit stronger, but 26 reps on the bench press is okay. It's decent. However, he has a great athletic profile. On the film, he plays light on his feet and he plays with great agility and quickness. This was backed up by the combine with amazing results in the broad jump where he tested in the 97th percentile and a great vertical jump where he tested in the 96th percentile. If for some reason we couldn't get my number 1 pick on this list, I would love to grab Adenaji at the top of the 4th round if he's still there. And number 1 on this list is Luka Niang, right tackle out of TCU. Right now I have him going in the 3rd round, and that's only because of a knee injury that he suffered last year. If it wasn't for that knee injury, people were talking about him going in the 2nd round and as early as the 1st round. But as it stands now, because people can't get their hands on him, he might drop a little bit. It might be bad for him, but it might be great for the Cincinnati Bengals if we don't grab a tackle in the 2nd round. Niang has been compared to Ryan Ramczyk, and that's all I need. I love Ryan Ramczyk when he came out of college in 2017, and I wanted the Bengals to draft him in that draft when we had the number 9 pick overall. And in that draft, that's the draft we drafted John Ross. So we drafted John Ross 9th overall, and the New Orleans Saints ended up drafting Ramczyk at the end of the 1st round. So yeah, that happened. But I digress. I love Niang's tape. He didn't allow a sack while starting at right tackle at TCU. And for his career, he only allowed 17 pressures, which is awesome. Like I said, his last season got cut short because of a knee injury. I would consider taking him in the second round, but right now I'm kind of have my eye on one particular linebacker in the second round, and I'm hoping that at the top of the third round, because of that knee injury, he might slip just a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if he got drafted in the second round in spite of that knee injury. And before you ask, yes, I would love Niang in the second round above a couple of other tackles who have been projected to go to the Cincinnati Bengals at the top of the second round. There's only the top 3 tackles. If one of those top 3 tackles were to fall to the second round, particularly Andrew Thomas, because he's my number 1 tackle of all, and he seems to be dropping just a little bit, even though I don't think he'll make it that far, but you never know with the draft. I love Niang more than I love all the other tackles who have been projected so far to fall to the Cincinnati Bengals in the second round. I would much rather have Niang in the third round than Josh Jones in the second round. And like I said, I really have my eye on one particular linebacker, Jordan Brooks, who seems to be skyrocketing up the draft boards. So thank you to all the experts for listening to Who Dey Lounge and finally taking my advice, because they finally got the message here in the last 24 hours. So somebody must have said something, or somebody must have heard me talk about Jordan Brooks, and all of a sudden the whole NFL seems to be on their Jordan Brooks train. You're welcome. Now on to my top 5 running backs who I would like the Bengals to give a look at outside of the first 2 rounds. And I'm going to start at number 5 with Darrington Evans, running back out of Appalachian State. He's 5'10", 203 pounds. And right now I have him going in the 5th or 6th round. The 5th round might be a little bit too early for the Cincinnati Bengals, considering all of the other draft needs that we have and all the other good players who are going to fall to that range, that 5th round range. He ran a 4.40, but he looks even faster than that when you watch him play. He had great production last year. He had 255 rushing attempts and 1,480 yards. So that's pretty good. That's pretty outstanding, actually. He had 18 touchdowns. He rushed for an average of 5.8 yards per carry. And importantly for the Cincinnati Bengals, he had 21 catches for 198 yards and 5 touchdowns. So that's good production in both the pass game and in the run game. He's been compared to former Bengals running back Kenny Irons, and us Bengals fans, we loved Kenny Irons. He was a good running back before the knee injury, which unfortunately ended his career, and we're really excited about him. So when I saw the comparison to him and Kenny Irons, I thought, man, I would love to see that happen. But like I said, 5th round might be a little bit too early for us. Coming in at number 4 on this list is Levante Bellamy out of Western Michigan. He's 6 feet tall, 240 pounds, so he's got good size and good weight. Right now, he's projected to go in the 7th round. I'm pretty sure he's going to get drafted. I don't think he's going to be an undrafted rookie free agent. But hey, like I said, you never know with this draft. He runs a little bit straight up, but that's okay. He's still very productive. He ran a 4.540. Now, 4.540 for a guy weighing 240 pounds is crazy, amazing, fast. He has great burst and good balance through the hole. He also had great production last year. He carried the ball 266 times for 1,472 yards. So good production. Big number for him is he had 23 touchdowns, which was a lot of touchdowns. So he has the production that you're looking for, obviously, in the run game. In 2018, he had 30 receptions for 185 yards. Now that shows he can do some things in the pass game as well. He also returned kickoffs in 2018, but he wasn't asked to do that last year. But he could do that if he was called upon to do it in the NFL. But he offers you good running production, good production in the pass game, and a little special teams play as well. Now, number 3 on this list is running back out of Washington, Salvon Ahmed. I think is how you pronounce it, Ahmed. Now, he's scheduled to go in the 7th round, or probably more than likely an undrafted rookie free agent. He's 5'11", 196 pounds, and he's fast. He's one of those fast, shifty guys. He ran a 4.340, which of course is amazingly fast, and he can catch the ball out of the backfield. He's coming out as a junior, so he doesn't have the wear and tear that some of these other running backs might have, but he had good production last year. He had 188 attempts for 1,020 yards. He had 16 receptions for 18 yards. Like I said, it's looking right now that he's going to go undrafted from what I can tell. But if he does go undrafted, I would love for the Bengals to give him a call and say, hey, would you like to come in and play for us? We need one of those really fast, shifty backs who can get things done in the pass game as well. And why not Savon Ahmed? Coming in at number 2 on my running backs list is Antonio Gibson, running back out of Memphis. He's 6 feet tall, 228 pounds, and right now he's projected to go in the 4th round. Full disclosure, he was number 1 on this list, but because he's probably going to get drafted in the 4th round, I think we'd be better off not using a 4th round pick on him. However, if the Bengals were to use a 4th round pick on him, I probably wouldn't be upset with that either. He ran a 4.3 40, so again, extremely fast for someone of his size. He's shiftier and has more wiggle to his game than his athletic profile would suggest. Obviously, he can catch the ball out of the backfield because he's making the conversion from wide receiver to running back. There aren't too many 6 feet, 228 pound wide receivers in the league or in college, but he was one, and he's a very productive receiver at that. Last year, he made the conversion to running back. Now, he doesn't have a lot of rushing production out of the running back position because of that conversion, but he did rush 33 times for 369 yards with an average of 11.2 yards per carry. He did have 4 rushing touchdowns as well, but he also had 33 receptions for 735 yards last year, primarily out of the backfield, which is important for Bengals fans, and that's an average of 19.3 yards per catch. On top of that, he had 23 kickoff returns with an average of 28 yards per return. Now, the Cincinnati Bengals were really thinking about moving to a more spread out offense, which is what Joe Burrow did best last year at LSU. Then Antonio Gibson will be a great option as a running back who can split out as a wide receiver, who can create mismatches with linebackers as well. Now, for my number 1 running back on this list is Jason Huntley out of New Mexico State. He's 5'9", 188 pounds, so he's on the smaller side. Right now, he's projected to go in the 7th round, but I don't think he's going to make it that far. He's fast. He ran a 4.4 40, but when you watch him on tape, it looks like he plays a lot faster than that. He had great production. He had 154 carries for 1,090 yards last year with 11 rushing touchdowns. He also had 40 receptions for 192 yards, which is great production in the pass game, and that's the reason why I probably flipped him and Antonio Gibson in this case. He had better rushing production and he had better receiving production. Now, if we're going to get that type of production from Huntley for in the 6th or 7th round, I would much rather have that than getting lesser production out of Antonio Gibson in the 4th round, even though Antonio Gibson's ceiling seems to be a little bit higher. I love Jason Huntley's production, and I think he has a pretty high ceiling himself. He was also the primary kick returner at New Mexico State, and he had 5 career returns for touchdowns. Furthermore, he led the nation in adjusted broken tackle rate, which basically means he was excellent at making people miss. If the Bengals are going to draft a running back and they're looking to upgrade the running backs room, I really hope he's the target. He was great in the run game, he was great in the receiving game, and he got the job done in the return game as well. He might be a little bit on the smaller side, but he runs very fast, he plays very fast, and he had excellent production. Now, that's all I have this evening. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned something about a few of my favorite players, and I'm really getting excited that the draft is only 2 days away, so I'm really getting excited about that. I feel like a kid right before Christmas. Anyway, that's all I have. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, have a great day. Be safe, be careful, have a good day, have a who day.